season on the line, 4th and 11. Butka looking downfield, throwing, incomplete, broken up at the 10-yard line. And Old Bridge is headed to the NJSIAA Central Jersey Group 5 Championship game.
There's one in the flat. Good catch that time by Ransom. Ransom with a lot of room and a good block by Delonzo down the field, and Ransom is gone. 57 yards to the house. 2-2.
Swung on and miss. Strike 3. St. James Smithtown has done it. They are the 2025 New York State Little League Baseball Tournament champions.
Drops back, throws all the way to his right, has a man down the field, and he's got him! First play of the drive, touchdown, New York Green Wave!
St. Aoki's season on the line. Goal to go from the 2. Kyles looks to run with it, pitches it to Sip, he grabs it, he's in for the touchdown!
The final 25, and they're neck and neck. Kane looks like they have just a dash of a lead. Salisbury taking first. What a race! Live from Great Kills Little League in Staten Island, New York, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into week-long coverage of the 10 and under Eastern Regional Softball Championship Tournament. 22 games, welcome parade, and skills competition spread over 5 days here on Staten Island, where one team will emerge as Eastern Region champs in this 10U division. Today we present pool play on day 3 of our tournament, and the first of 3 games here today on this field. It's Washington, D.C., represented by Capitol Hill Little League, taking on the team from Delaware, Milford Little League. Good morning, everyone. My name is David Pizzuto, and I am with you here for this Mid-Atlantic pool play game between 2 teams right now looking for their first victory. And, of course, these games will matter when it comes to seeding in tomorrow's playoff, single elimination playoff here in the Mid-Atlantic. Both teams are being introduced right now, so we will get you those starters as well. We'll begin first with Capitol Hill, represented as the away team here. Batting in this order, batting first is number 1, Callie Smith, the center fielder. Batting second, number 13, Rory Nolan, the shortstop. Batting third, number 12, Skylar Miller, the right fielder. Batting fourth, number 26, Catherine Spain, the pitcher. Batting fifth, number 11, Addie Holder, the third baseman. Batting sixth, number 22, Vivian Kumsky, the second baseman. Batting seventh is number 3, Isabel Loika, one of the extra hitters. Batting eighth is 00, Alice Ward, another extra hitter. Batting ninth is number 23, Ellie Harper, the catcher. Batting 10th is number 33, Alex Emerson, the left fielder. Batting 11th is number 27, Maggie Lombardo, the first baseman. And batting 12th is number 17, Kate Stern, the final of the extra hitters. The starters for the home team on the scoreboard here today for this one for Milford, they will go in this order. Batting first is number 7, Quinn Albert, the catcher. Batting second is number 4, Grace Kenton, the pitcher. Batting third is number 12, Kennedy Zook, the shortstop. Batting fourth is number 6, Marley Clendaniel, the first baseman. Batting fifth is number 2, Peyton Bell, the center fielder. Batting sixth is number 15, Julie Mumford, the right fielder. Batting seventh is number 5, Macy Durham, the second baseman. Batting eighth is number 13, Addison Bauer, the left fielder. Batting ninth is number 11, Logan Bell, the extra hitter. Batting 10th is number 17, Gianna Rivera, the extra hitter. Batting 11th is number 8, Raylan Torres, the last of the extra hitters. And batting 12th is number 1, Nathalie Bowers, the third baseman. So our starters are being introduced as we speak, and then we will pause momentarily for our national anthem as well. So we'll get you that action here as our other game is starting as well between Maryland and New Jersey in that Mid-Atlantic contest that features the 2 1-1 teams. Later on this field, we'll have the 2 2-0 teams going at it. So the way things shook out following yesterday, we have the 2 undefeated teams against one another, the 2 1-1 teams against one another, and the 2 0-2 teams against one another. And that will conclude pool play in the Mid-Atlantic, and then we'll turn our attention to the double elimination format of the New England bracket. And you can see the standings on your screen here and the seeding here. Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. Of course, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, obviously, so that'll factor into account. But then it's runs allowed that will be big as well, and that'll shake things out in case there are ties. And again, these standings are just for seeding purposes for tomorrow's playoffs, where 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5, and then the 2 top seeds will await the winners of those quarterfinal matchups. So part of a exciting afternoon tomorrow. Of course, we'll keep our eye on the weather as well as that kind of matriculates throughout the afternoon and into the evening here tonight. Be sure to consult our website and, of course, Great Kills' webpage as well for this tournament. So we're going to step aside here for the playing of our national anthem. When we come back, we'll get ready for first pitch here between Capitol Hill and Milford Little League, representing Washington, D.C. and Delaware. Stay with us. Our nation's anthem gets us ready for first pitch here live from Great Kills Little League, and this will be the final pool play game for both of these teams from Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill, and from Delaware, Milford Little League, one of 2 Milford Little Leagues in this tournament. The other is on the other side in New England, representing Connecticut. And again, we have 2 games going on the field opposite us. On the major field, you have the pair of 1-1 teams in Hanover and Hughesville. And that's a big one there because the winner of that game will finish with a potential possibility to finish with the 2 seed. And obviously the team that wins that one will be 2-1, and the losing team from the New York, Pennsylvania game will be 2-1 as well. And so it will come down to tiebreakers between those. And New Jersey, having beaten Pennsylvania but having lost to New York, sets up an interesting dynamic. So we'll get to see from Capitol Hill Little League. And again, runs allowed was the issue with these 2 teams. They combined to allow 32 runs in the 2 games that they've played already. And so you have to think this one might be high scoring. You could see it, the final 2 teams down there, Delaware and Washington. And again, the winner of this game will have a chance, will probably finish, will finish in 5th with the 5th seed. The loser will finish with the 6th seed because they can't win a tiebreaker with those above them unless by some chance they haven't met one of those teams and their runs allowed are less. But that doesn't seem likely here. So this is a matchup that's going to determine the 5th and 6th seeds. Most likely, mathematically, it's still possible for one of these teams to jump up to 4th place, but it is not likely. And it wouldn't matter too much because whether you're finishing 4th or 5th, you're going to draw the 4-5 game, and home field is decided by a coin toss anyway. So it really doesn't matter if you finish 4th or 5th there in the standings. So for all intents and purposes, we're looking at the 5-6 seeding here. And obviously, the other factor is you want to escape Staten Island with a victory, at least one in this tournament. And so this is their chance, these 2 teams, to kind of rectify what happened yesterday and bounce back with a good showing here today. David Pizzuto being joined by Alex Paramithis, who's doing our engineering here to my right. So we thank Alex for the job that he does. Was on hand yesterday as well over on the major field. Squaring up to bunt was Callie Smith, but she accepts a ball from Kenton to start things off here, our first pitch of the morning. We have 3 games here on this field. 9 o'clock, 11:30, and 2 p.m. as that one is outside. Big windup, but that one is drawn outside as well. 2-1 is the count on Smith. Callie Smith was one of the finalists in the Roadrunner competition in Skills Challenge. So once she gets on base, she's dangerous around those base paths, and she is 1 ball away from getting a free pass. The 3-1 upcoming here for Kenton. And that one is in there for a call strike. Looked like Smith was taking all the way there, so that'll make it a 3-2 situation. That one is swung on and missed for strike 3 called. So a K swinging opens up the game for Kenton.
Shortstop number 13, Rory Nolan.
And that will bring up Rory Nolan here with 1 out. So good job by Kenton to come all the way back in that at bat as Nolan swings through that one for strike 1, 0-1. Falling behind 3-1, coming back with 2 straight strikes on Smith. And that one is up high for ball 1, 1-1. Nolan asked for a bit of time, but the delivery is dead red for strike 2, so the count 1-2 now. As working ahead is Grace Kenton, and she's working very quickly as well. That one is a strikeout looking as that one hits the high part of the strike zone, and so back-to-back Ks for Grace Kenton. And Capitol Hill down to their final out here in the top half of the first inning. It'll be Skylar Miller, the right fielder. And that one hits the high strike zone for strike 1, right at the letters. 0-1. That one skips in that time on Miller, so always inclined to say in the dirt, but obviously no dirt here on this all artificial turf field here in the senior minor field. And that one gets Miller up high, and she will get the free pass via the hit by pitch. She shakes it off nicely, and she'll be at first base here, bringing up Catherine Spain, the pitcher, who will look to help her own cause.
Pitcher number 26, Catherine Spain, number 26.
And Spain gets some contact, but rips that one foul. And will be behind in the count, 0-1. First base runner of the game represented Skylar Miller at first base. See if Capitol Hill can push her along the base paths here. That one 2 inside on Spain, so the count will even at 1-1. Kenton liked that pitch and went back, shaking her head a little bit. The 1-1 swung on and fouled back. That one is hit once again into the dugout on that first base side. Spain catching these a little bit late here, but she'll get the 1-2, working on that timing here. The pitch inside and low for ball 2, 2-2. Kenton with the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and so Kenton strikes out the side. They leave a base runner, does Capitol Hill, but Milford coming to bat with no score here as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Stay with us. You're watching 10U softball coverage here of the Eastern Regional Tournament on the PDF Sports Network.
This tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering Island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
We are back here, bottom half of the first inning, where Delaware will take their first hacks of the game after keeping Washington, D.C. off of the scoreboard after yielding a hit by pitch. Great job by Grace Kenton to strike out the side in that top half of the first inning, and we'll see if Catherine Spain can match that production. As we get our defensive alignment in order here in our scorebook. Spain will take the last of her warm-up pitches. So it'll be Quinn Albert to get us started. The catcher makes her way over to the batter's box.
Catcher number 7, Quinn Albert.
And we'll see if Delaware can get things going here offensively. We'll face Catherine Spain. Spain not known for her speed there, but certainly had that rise ball that traces down, but that one's a little too high in the strike zone, so that'll be a 1-0 pitch upcoming. And there's one that's skied up into the fencing for strike one. Fouled off. Took a little while for batters to kind of adjust to Spain's delivery and those pitches that she throws that end up landing in the strike zone, and that one just missed high again for the count 2-1. Well placed once they get to the catcher, but again, too high in the strike zone. There's another one that misses high, 3-1, and that's the deal with Spain. When she does miss, she misses high in the strike zone, doesn't really have the pitches that come in low. Sometimes they're hard to lay off though, but good job laying off that time by Albert, and a 5-pitch walk issued here. And we have our first base runner of the morning for Delaware. They'll get the runner at first base here with Grace Kenton, the pitcher. So pitcher versus pitcher again here in this matchup in reverse here in the bottom half of the first. That one down low, and Harper couldn't field it clean, and so moving over to second base was Albert, and now she's in scoring position, just one pitch into this at bat. Yeah, again, we said that Spain rarely misses low, but that time missed it, and that one skips in, and now the runner going to third base, and good job backing up there by Nolan, but coming in, looked like stealing all the way that time was Albert, and she's now at third base, 2 pitches after getting on via the walk. The 2-0 upcoming, and that one skips in on Harper again. However, that is a strike call, and the count will go to 2-1. Landed right in front of Harper. She was able to knock it down. There's a big swing and a miss. That was actually fouled off, so count will go to 2-2. So Spain working her way back. Nobody out here with the runner at third base in Albert. The wind and the delivery too high there for Kenton, and so the count will run full at 3-2. Already a big pitch here. And laying off but too high, Kenton will earn a free pass as well. So back-to-back walks issued by Spain, and now
Kennedy Zook, number 12.
we have runners at the corners with nobody out, and we'll see if Kenton will go in motion at first base, try and draw a throw here. Meanwhile, this is Kennedy Zook at the plate. Offers at that one and spoils it. Foul territory in left field. Raced out in front of that one and tried to tomahawk it down. The 0-1. That one's a one-hopper to Harper, and the runner does take off, and so Kenton will take the base at second. So now runners at second and third with nobody out, and a 1-1 pitch upcoming here to Zook. Lays off that one, and the count goes to 2-1. Seen a lot of batters offer at those pitches high in the zone, but Spain missing a little bit too high with these. There's one to hit, and once again Zook way out in front of it and spoils it in foul territory, 2-2. The pitch swung on and hit sharply, but that's in foul territory. Almost a good scoop there by our third base coach. Gotta watch those fingers though. That ball comes screaming in. Could get you hurt. 2-2, and that one is fisted towards left field, and racing in to make the grab. Falling on the play was Emerson. The tag up from third base does get the run home, but via the sacrifice fly by Kennedy Zook, an RBI for her. Quinn Albert comes in to score, and we have Milford, the home team, with a 1-0 lead.
Marley Clendaniel, number 6.
Marley Clendaniel is the batter. And the runner stays put at second base. So Kenton stayed stationary at second after that catch by Emerson in the outfield. That one upstairs for ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 pitch skied up, and Harper tried to get it down, but the throw over to third, not in time, as able to take it pretty easily was Grace Kenton, and now she's one bag away from doubling the lead here, and a 3-0 pitch upcoming from Clendaniel. And that is ball 4. And so Spain has now walked 3 of the first 4 batters in this one, and now the runners will be at the corners. Still just the one out here. Peyton Bell, center fielder, steps in the right-hand batter's box. That one elevated for ball 1, and taking second base easily will be Clendaniel. And so now runners will be at second and third. The 1-0 upcoming to Bell. Dips out of the way of that one on a hop, and the count will go to 2-0. So Bell has seen one well high, and that one inside on a bounce. See if she gets something to hit here on a 2-0 count. Swings through that one out in front of it, and it'll be 2-1. Harper doing well to knock that one down, at least. Keep it in front of her. Runners stay put at second and third. The windup, and again, too high. Spain missing, so the count will go to 3-1 with first base open here. Spain in trouble here of losing her 4th batter of the inning. Here's the pitch. That hits the inside corner for strike 2, 3-2. Better pitch that time from Spain, able to keep that ball down in the strike zone. See if she can come back with something similar here on a 3-2 pitch. Runners won't be moving here, but here's the pitch well high and outside, and so ball 4, and it's the 4th walk issued in the inning by Spain, and it will bring up Julie Mumford, the right fielder. 6th in the order is now a talking to here for Catherine Spain, as wants to conference with Harper as well, the catcher, get on the same page here. But without the benefits of a hit, Delaware has a run in already, and they have the bases loaded with 1 out. Spain was the pitcher in the game that we saw yesterday that Delaware played in here. That was against Hughesville, and she went the distance in that game. However, by virtue of the run rule, that game ended early after 4 innings. And now that one too high in on Mumford, so ball 1. Spain delivers again. That one is offered at, swung on, and the runners will hold as that one got away from Harper. So after many high pitches in a row, came down with that one. That one landed on the plate, but Mumford offered at it. 1-1. And swing and a miss at that one, and it'll be 1-2. So Spain finally working ahead in the count here after a series of walks. Look to stay ahead here. 1-2 pitch to Mumford, and that one is on a hopper to Harper, so it'll be 2-2. The 2-2 pitch upcoming. The delivery, Mumford plays it into foul territory, but unable to make a play there was Holder, and so the count remains 2-2. As Mumford saw that one go into foul territory. And just out in front of the ball was Mumford. And that one is skied up on Harper, and no swing there, 3-2. Nowhere to put Mumford here. She could walk in a run if Spain can't find the strike zone here. Here's the payoff pitch. And it is strike 3, call on the inside corner. So Spain gets the strikeout looking for the 2nd out of the inning. Obviously, runners all hold, and the bases remain loaded now for Macy Durham.
Second baseman, number 5, Macy Durham, number 5.
Playing second base in this one. That's a big strikeout for Catherine Spain to work herself back after falling behind 3-2 on the count, and that one bounces in front of the plate for Harper. 1-0. That's been really the difference here. Spain has been working behind most of the batters. And there's a swing and hit down the line at third base. That is a fair ball. 1 run will score, and the runners will hold from there. It's an RBI single for Macy Durham, and we have a 2-0 lead here for Delaware. That was actually the first hit of the game as well,
Left fielder number
after
13,
4 walks.
Addison Bauer. Number 13.
Addison Bauer will be the batter with the bases remaining loaded. It's now a 2-0 game with 2 out. Offered at and spoiled foul down the first base side. Bauer is the 8th hitter to plate here in this bottom half of the first. And Spain delivers the 0-1. That one is swung on out ahead of it, but chopped foul right behind us. And now the count quickly goes to 0-2 on Bauer. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back. Bauer has swung at all 3 offerings from Spain, fouled them all off. Here's the pitch, and swung on and missed high in the strike zone, so Spain gets her 2nd strikeout of the inning, but damage done. Delaware scores 2 off of 1 hit, and at the end of 1 complete inning, they lead Washington, D.C. by a score of 2-0. Stay with us. The 2nd inning is coming up next.
Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
We are back here, getting ready for our 2nd frame here, and Grace Kenton coming off a really positive inning in the top of the first. She did hit a batter, but she struck out the side in that top half of the first against the top 4 batters for Washington, D.C., and she'll face hitters 5, 6, and 7 at the least here in inning number 2. Addie Holder will lead off, the 3rd baseman, followed by Vivian Kumsky and Isabel Loika. But now, for the first time, Capitol Hill Little League has to swing the bats in a position where they are behind in the game. They're down 2-0 here in this 2nd inning. Again, the winning side will improve to 1-2 in pool play, and the losing side will fall to 0-3. But this is essentially a game that will determine the 5th and 6th seeds in tomorrow's playoffs. As we are waiting, I believe, for
Third baseman number 11.
the hitter Addie Holder to get herself together, and she does now. So get this one started here, this 2nd inning. Obviously, these games, 6 innings, slated for. And there's one, and going around was Holder, so strike 1 on her early in the count. Definitely a big change in speeds between these 2 pitchers as Kenton deals high on Holder to even the count at 1 apiece. Another one delivered high, and Holder lays off that one, so the count goes to 2-1. Over on our other field, Hanover Little League from New Jersey has themselves a 3-0 lead, as the delivery there is a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. They lead Hughesville Little League of Maryland 3-0, and that's still in the bottom of the first over on the major field. Up high, and that's in the strike zone for a call, strike 3. So Addie Holder goes down on strikes looking. It's the 2nd strikeout looking for Kenton. 4 total so far, as all the putouts on that end have been via the strikeout, and that'll bring up Vivian Kumsky. Kumsky playing 2nd base in this one, and Kenton loses control of that one off the glove of Albert, so the count will be 1-0. There's another one elevated, 2-0 the count. swung on and fouled off. So that time, catching up to it was Kumsky, so the count will go 2-1. But all-important strike there for Kenton. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Big healthy cut from Kumsky, and now Kenton trying to work herself all the way back from being down in the count 2-0. Here's the 2-2, elevated once again for ball 3-2. Kenton's only blemish was a hit by pitch. Let's see what she offers here on the 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 5th strikeout for Grace Kenton. And it'll be up to Isabel Loika here
Now batting.
to try and
Extra hitter
spoil
number
what
3.
could be a 1-2-3
Isabel
inning for
Loika,
Kenton.
Number 3.
Well high again off the top of the glove for Albert, 1-0. New Jersey has added a couple more runs in the bottom of the first. Over on the major field, they now lead Maryland 5-0 there. Still in the first, and a big healthy swing and a miss from Loika. And so the count evens at 1-1. Grace Kenton takes her time this time, and that one hits Loika in the elbow, shakes it off quickly, and that's the second time that a Washington, D.C. player has been hit by a pitch. It's the only blemish right now on Grace Kenton's resume through the first 1 2/3. And it'll bring up Alice Ward, the second of the 3 extra hitters. Try and do something here with a runner on base. And has to dip out of the way of that one, but it gets by Albert, and moving over to second base easily will be Loika. And so now she's 2 bases away. And a 1-0 upcoming to Alice Ward. Dead red that time. She looks at strike 1, 1-1. The pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. A little late with that one is Ward. They get the runner over to third base. Good throw, but it was offline, and that allows Loika to take third base. So now, with potential swing of the bat into open space, Capitol Hill Little League is going to try and cut into this deficit here. Top half of the second inning. Delaware with 2 runs in the bottom half of the first. Have our first lead of the game, but DC threatening here. The 1-2 pitch upcoming, and losing it behind Ward, actually. Albert did well to track that down. If it hits a corner of one of the backstop here, that ball could go awry, and that could have scored the run, but it's a 2-2 count upcoming. Well high, Albert does well to field that one. But the count will run full to 3-2. Just going to confirm that, right, Alex? 3-2 pitch, yep. Scoreboard says 1-0, but here we go. 3-2 pitch, inside, called strike 3. Second strikeout looking of the inning for Kenton, her 6th of the game. She retires the side again. Capitol Hill Little League strands a runner. And at the end of 1.5 innings of play, our score remains Delaware 2, Washington, D.C. nothing. We'll step aside momentarily. More 10U softball action coming up.
New York State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week, with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
We are back here live from Great Kills Little League in Staten Island, New York. Final pool play game for these 2 teams anyway to determine seeding in tomorrow's playoffs. And right now it's Delaware with a 2-0 lead. They scored 2 in the bottom of the first, and will look to improve on that here in the second, where they'll send up batters 9, 10, and 11 at the least. Batters 9, 10, 11 are the 3 extra hitters in this lineup. For Milford Little League of Delaware, it'll be Logan Bell, Gianna Rivera, and Raylan Towers to take some hacks here in this inning.
Now batting.
And really,
Number 11.
Spain only gave up the 1 hit in the top of the first inning, but it was the walks that really did them in. As there's one hit sharply towards second base, fielded clean, the throw in time, Kumsky to Lombardo, and on 1 pitch, we have 1 out here in the bottom of, oh no, actually, that ball was dropped. Can you get a replay of that real quick? Oh, I guess the ball was not held onto by Lombardo, unfortunately.
Gianna Rivera, number
Is that
17.
it? Yeah, dropped the ball at first base. So we'll score that in E3. And Rivera will be the batter. That's a swing and a miss for strike 1. We have a 1-1 count here on Rivera. So after the small pause, just to fix my scoring here, Delaware in business on what should have been the first out of the inning. There's one that's fouled back. And taking off was Bell from first, but she'll have to work her way back to first base. 1-2 will be the count here on Rivera. Big pitch upcoming. Spain delivers, and that one is short of the plate for ball 2, 2-2. Foul back. Haven't seen Bell in motion at all on this at-bat. The 2-2 pitch once again fails to reach the plate, and the count will run full at 3-2. And again, Catherine Spain walked 4 batters in the top half of the first inning. So this is a big payoff pitch here. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, trying to move over to second, and successfully doing so was Logan Bell. And so Spain gets the strikeout for the inning's first out here in the bottom of the frame, but Bell successful at moving over from first to second. Not the way you drew it up, but essentially almost like a sacrifice there to move her over, and Towers will be the batter and make some contact there, but fouled back. Raylan Towers, the final extra hitter in this lineup, and then it'll be Nathalie Bowers to finish the rotation. That one is hit to Spain, back at the pitcher, and the throw goes awry and into right field foul territory, and coming all the way around to score was Bell. And so via the error on Spain throwing, it's now a 3-0 game.
Now batting. Third baseman, number 1. Nathalie Ballard, number 1.
So Nathalie Bowers with a runner at second base now. Bowers needs some instructions. Actually, they need to get that bat off the field. So our score is 3-0 here. A couple of errors in this inning have allowed the run. And that one is too high for a ball, and the runner will advance. So Towers going from second to third on the errant pitch, and now with a 1-0 count, Towers 1 base away as that one is airmailed in for ball 2. And losing another one up high is Spain, so the count will go to 3-0. And it's unfortunate because so far we have a strikeout for Spain and 2 relatively easy ground balls, some routine plays. And that one is in there for a call strike. So Spain needed to deliver a strike, and she did that time with Ballard, taking all the way. Swung on and missed by Ballard for strike 2. So Spain trying to work all the way back here. Down 3-0 in the count. Needs one more strike here to finish off Ballard, the number 12 hitter. And that's in there for call strike 3. Good job working her way back. Catherine Spain registering the second out and trying to strand Towers at third base, but we'll go back to the top of the order. It'll be Quinn Albert. Albert walked and scored in the first inning. And that one is a strike. So Spain starting to find that strike zone there in the sweet spot. And there's another one right in the same spot, 0-2. So Spain living there. They've reached the end of the first inning over on the major field, New Jersey, with a 6-0 lead on Maryland through one frame. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Spain is able to strike out the side. A couple of errors lead to a run, however, and Delaware has expanded their lead. It's now 3-0 at the end of 2 innings complete. Stay with us. The third inning is coming up next here between Delaware and Washington, D.C.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship, because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
Welcome back here to Great Kills Little League in Staten Island, New York. Delaware, with 2 runs in the first and 1 in the second, have taken a 3-0 lead going into round 3 here between these two teams. And really, there's been a healthy amount of strikeouts. Grace Kenton has struck out the side in each of the first 2 innings, yielded a base runner in each inning, and so it will be hitters 9, 10, and 11 coming up for Capitol Hill Little League, representing Washington, D.C. to be Ellie Harper, Alex Emerson, and Maggie Lombardo to come up to the plate at the least. Catherine Spain on the other side of the ledger has 5 strikeouts. So through the first 2 innings, there's only been 1 putout that was not a strikeout, and that was the sacrifice fly RBI by Kennedy Zook that scored a run. Other than that, it's been all Ks, and position number 1 getting all the putouts here. Although they do count as putouts for the catcher. I should clarify that. Strikeout is a putout for a catcher, so their stats get padded a little bit. But you saw the line score on your screen moments ago. The Delaware with just the lone hit in the game, but has those 3 runs and helped along by a couple of errors as well in that inning. And now stepping in is Ellie Harper, the catcher who's been busy behind the plate. Tries to do some damage at the plate. Takes that one high for ball 1, 1-0. Kenton's delivery well high again over the glove of Albert, 2-0. A little bit of an overthrow there. First of 3 games here on this field. Our next game slated on this field will be Pennsylvania against New York. Bullskin against Great Kills, the 2-2-0 teams. Well high and outside, so ball 3 here as Kenton hasn't found the strike zone yet to start this 3rd inning. Ooh, and that one caught a piece of Harper, and she will take the base via the hit by pitch. That is the 3rd batter that Kenton has hit in this game. In fact, she has faced 9 batters. She has struck out 6 of them and has hit 3 of them. And Alex Emerson will be the batter with a runner at first base with nobody out. It's the first time Washington, D.C. has gotten the leadoff runner on, and they're going to try and extend it to second, and they do easily as Harper rolls into second base. So now she's 2 bases away. Emerson did see a strike on that first pitch and sees another one on the inside tight corner. 0-2 now as Kenton doing a good job here of finding the strike zone after a tough at-bat against Harper. The 0-2 is bounced in, and now the throw over to third, not in time, as Harper is now 1 base away. It's a pretty good throw that time from Albert over to third, but was able to beat it Harper with the wheels. Emerson will see a 1-2 pitch. Elevated and high for ball 2, 2-2. So after starting 0-2 in this count, Emerson has a chance here at 2-2. The pitch. High again, 3-2 the count. Will run full. The 3-2 pitch, high again, and Emerson will earn her way on base via the walk. And now runners will be at the corners with nobody out. And Washington, D.C. threatening here with the bottom of the order. It'll be Maggie Lombardo, the first baseman, stepping in. And that one is down low, and holding at third was Harper, but taking second will be Emerson, as that one skipped away from Albert. So a 1-0 pitch upcoming with first base open. Runners at second and third. Big moment here for Lombardo. Swings at that one, right side of the infield. Only one play to be made, but that one is through the legs of Durham. 1 run will score, and they're waving in the second one, looking to take it. The throw not in time. Emerson beats it on the slide, and moving over to second is Lombardo. So the score now 3-2, as DC getting a pair of runs on that ground ball. It's an E4 RBI for Lombardo. Harper and Emerson end up scoring on the play.
Extra hitter number 17, Kate Stern.
And just like that, DC right back in the ball game. It's 3-2 with a couple of runs here in the top half of the third. And Kate Stern will be the batter. So 2 runs on only 3 plate appearances here in this inning. We have a hit by pitch, a bases on balls, and then of course the 2-base error allows 2 to score. Tough break that time for Delaware, and ducking out of the way of that one was Stern, so the count goes to 1-0 to start her at bat. Runner at second base, still nobody out here. The 1-0, Stern offers at it, swings and misses, strike 1, 1-1. Kenton misses upstairs again, 2-1. Kenton was rolling right along, only faced 8 batters the first 2 innings, 6 strikeouts. Kind of gotten snagged here as that one is elevated again, so the count goes to 3-1. And this is all in the bottom of the order here. The top of the order is on deck with Callie Smith as that one hits the high end of the strike zone for strike 2, 3-2. The pitch, 2 inside, and ball 4 issued. So how about that for the bottom 4 in the order? All get on base, one via the error, the other 2 on bases on balls and a hit by pitch. Oh, and actually we have Dottie Laurent batting. The other extra hitter, I guess I missed her on the lineup sheet. So this is the final batter. Oh yeah, there she is. They needed a 13th line. That's why they only had 12 lines in the lineup card. But Dottie Laurent does represent the final batter in the order, batter number 13. She is also an extra hitter. And lots of instructions going on here with the infield for Delaware. A long talking to here by the coaching staff. And looks like the plate umpire will come and break things up in just a moment. The plate umpire is Juliana Cretella, former CSI softball player for 4 years. Outstanding softball player. But some familiar faces here. And after the pause, it will be Laurent to take the bat in her hands. Runners at first and second. And that one skips in. Good job by Albert to keep that in front of her, but the count will go to 1-0. 2-0. Infield pretty much at normal depth here. See if Lauren is going to look at this next pitch, try to guarantee seeing a strike here. And she does. The pitch. That's 2 inside on Lauren for ball 3, 3-1. Third base is open. And Lauren will get a 3-1 pitch. We'll see if she gets the green light here. Squares up to bunt, takes it off, and will walk. So the bottom of the order, the final 5 batters, hit by pitch, a walk, an error, a walk, and a walk. So Kenton has gotten pretty wild here. And with still nobody out, we have the top of the order here. And a swing and a foul by Smith. Smith struck out swinging her first time up. The first of 6 strikeout victims for Grace Kenton. But she's hit a snag here in the top half of the third. And that one is swung on late and fouled off third base side. So Kenton this time well ahead in the count, 0-2. And that's not where she's been. First 5 batters of this top of the third inning. The pitch down low gets away from Albert, and they get halfway down the line, but retreating back to third base was Alex Emerson. And it'll be a 1-2 pitch for the lefty hitting Callie Smith. The delivery from Kenton well upstairs past the glove of Albert. She tracks it down and once again holds Emerson at third, but the count runs even now at 2-2. Kenton trying to work her way back after 2 elevated balls. That one puts on the outside frame, but 2 outside, and the count runs full to 3-2. Good eye by Callie Smith. Here we go, payoff pitch, nowhere to put Smith. And that's high and outside, ball 4. So a bases loaded walk issued by Kenton to Smith. That scores Lombardo. I apologize, it was Lombardo at third base, not Emerson. She had already scored in the inning. And another conference here. And it looks like we are going to get a change here in pitching, as Grace Kenton will come out and will play short. And coming in is Zook, the shortstop, to now pitch. So a straight switch, shortstop and pitcher.
Now pitching, number 12, Kennedy Zook. Number 12.
So Kenton moves over to short to take the place of Zook at short, and Zook will come in to pitch here. She is not responsible for the runners at first, second, and third, and there are no outs still here in the top of the third inning, and it's essentially back to a 0-0 game. We are all knotted up at 3 here in an inning where Washington, D.C. still does not have a hit in this inning. They've had 4 walks, a hits batter, and there was an error. Really, only that one error was the only ball that was really put in play. And unfortunately for Kenton, she was able to register 6 strikeouts, but she also allowed 4 walks, and she hit 3 batters as well. And it will be Nolan here up at bat. Nolan struck out looking against Kenton in the first inning. And Zook's pitch is inside for a call strike, a call ball. So now the count goes even at 1-1. Delivery up high, 2-1. Zook working quickly as well. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Good healthy cut that time by Nolan, but needs to keep that head down through that swing. 2-2. Zook working quickly. Right-handed delivery, well high and elevated, 3-2. And again, nowhere to put Rory Nolan here. So Zook's got to come in with a strike or something meaty for Nolan to offer at, and that one's too high. That's not going to do it. A bases loaded walk again issued by Delaware, and Washington, D.C. has taken a 4-3 lead here in the top half of the third without the benefits of a hit. And it'll be Skylar Miller. Miller, one of 3 batters who was hit by a pitch in this one and almost got hit there, ducked out of the way, but that's a strike. 0-1. Miller doesn't exactly crowd the batter's box, but takes strike 2. It's a nice pitch that time by Zook. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And on 3 pitches, Miller is down on strikes, and it's the first out registered in the inning by Delaware, courtesy of Kennedy Zook. And that'll bring up Catherine Spain. Spain struck out swinging against Kenton in the first inning. That ended the first. And chops that one right back to Zook. Zook's play is at first base. It is made, but a run scores. So an RBI ground out for Catherine Spain, 1-3. And Dottie Laurent came in to score. And so we have a 5-3 lead here for Washington, D.C. They'll have runners still at second and third with 2 out. So Zook comes in, walks a batter, and does register 2 outs, and now it'll be up to Addie Holder. Holder struck out looking to start the second inning for Washington, D.C. Down by 3 coming into this inning, now up by 2. The wind by Zook, the delivery is too high for another ball. 2-0. The offering for Zook is behind Holder, and staying put at second and third was Nolan and Spain. But the count now 3-0 with first base open. The pitch, well high, gets away from Albert. Runners stay put, but the bases will be loaded. That is the 6th walk of the inning that Washington, D.C. has earned in this inning. They also had a hit batter. And again, all 5 of these runs off of no hits in the inning. You don't see that often. And a big swing and a miss by Kumsky for strike 1. Kumsky struck out swinging her first time up. That was against Kenton in the second inning. That one too low, below the knees, 1-1. That one hits the inside corner of the plate, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Kumsky. Zook looking to get out of this inning, but delivers high and wide for ball 2, 2-2. Bases are loaded here for Washington, D.C. A 5-run inning. A big hit could make it even more of a deficit here. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Zook is able to get another strikeout and get her team out of this inning. But damage done. 5 runs on no hits in that inning for Washington, D.C., and they take a 5-3 lead going into the bottom half of the third inning. That is coming up next. Stay with us. You're watching 10U Softball on the PDF Sports Network.
K&S Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
Welcome back here to Great Kills Little League, where Washington, D.C., with a 5-0 lead and a very, very unorthodox line score there Washington D.C. 5 runs on no hits in the game. They have had, let's see, there were 6 walks in that inning that were issued. They have been hit by pitches 3 times in the game. There was also the error, the big error that, of course, yielded another run in that inning as well. So, yeah, no hits in the game yet for Washington, D.C., but they have themselves a 2-run lead in a 5-3 ball game. And Delaware, which only has 1 hit in their own right, is back in there to try and chop into this lead and cut the deficit or maybe even take it over here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that one is elevated for ball 1. Delaware with 2 runs in the first. They scored 1 in the second for their 3 here today. Cut on and missed by Kenton for a strike. Kenton walked and scored in the first inning. She started as the pitcher of record, and she is now the shortstop in the game. Harper gets back in position at catcher, and now here comes the 1-1 from Spain. Kenton pops it up, and that is going to hit the infield, and legging it out for a single will be Grace Kenton. Put it kind of in no man's land there between the circle and second base. It's the second hit of the game for Delaware, and now they got the tying run at the plate here with Kennedy Zook, who started at short and is now pitching. And that one bounces in, and is that an out? Where's the base runner? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because it was untouched. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I looked down to score the play, but yeah, that's a foul ball. Interesting. And Kenton is out on strike, so how about that for a change of pace? We thought she legged out a single. Instead, that was a foul ball. We'll have to take that off, that single that we put up on the board there, Alex. That was my fault. And Kennedy Zook now is at the plate. And that one fouled right below us here in the window. And the count will be 0-1 on Zook. So Spain, with that strikeout now, has 6 in the game. That one is ripped down the left side of the infield for a base hit at least. And Zook will hold right there, an errant throw, but backing it up nicely was Lombardo. And so now that's the second hit of the game for Delaware, and they're in business here with a base runner with 1 out here. And Marley Clendaniel is the batter. Clendaniel walked in the first inning. She was stranded. To end the inning. She takes for strike 1 here, so the 0-1 upcoming, and that one is rainbowed over the plate for ball 1, 1-1. Yeah, Clendaniel was left at third base in that first inning. She's out in front of that one, and that's a strike. And I guess she did not make contact because moving over to second base was Kennedy Zook. Thought at first she did, but the count 1-2. That one is cut on and hit into the outfield, right at the lip between the infield and the outfield, backed up by Callie Smith. They will run the base runner home, and taking second on the play. A lot of errant throws, and now moving over to third potentially will be Clendaniel. No throw applied, and Clendaniel with an RBI base hit extended by a pair of throws that were misguided, and it's now a 5-4 game. And Bell looks at that one, 1-0. So on that particular play, you have a single and then an error, a throwing error that allows the runner to go all the way to third. That one is tomahawk chopped into the deep outfield, and that's going to be a base hit and a run scored. The tying run coming in. And so Clendaniel is plated on the RBI single by Peyton Bell, and now 3 straight hits for Delaware have tied the game up at 5 here in the bottom of the third. And the runner goes to second base. Throw not in time to grab Bell at second. Meanwhile, it was Mumford who swung and missed at strike 1 there. She struck out looking her first time up. Rips into that one left side. Knocked down by the shortstop, and the tag applied on Bell, who was looking to advance to third base. Nice heads-up play that time by Nolan. And so it'll go down as a fielder's choice, and out on the play is Peyton Bell.
Second baseman, number 5, Macy Durham, number 5.
So Macy Durham will be the batter now with 2 outs and a runner at first. That one chopped down the left side of the infield. That's going to be a base hit. As they're starting to string them together now. That's the 4th hit of the inning for Delaware, as the second time around has worked well for them. Durham is now 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. And now she's at first base. Mumford is at second, and it'll be up to Addison Bauer. Bauer struck out swinging her first time up. Swings at that one, left side, played by Nolan. The throw to first in time, and that will do it for the bottom half of the third inning. But Delaware strikes back, and at the end of 3 innings of play with their 2 runs, they have knotted this game back up at 5. We are through 3. We get the second half of this opening game of pool play here on day 2. Our score, 5 apiece. Stay with us.
When it comes to sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
Welcome back here to Great Kills Little League on Staten Island. We had a very eventful third inning. 5 runs were plated by Washington, D.C., but they were answered by 2 from Delaware to make this a 5-5 game at the end of 3 innings of play. You see the unorthodox line score there. Washington, D.C. still looking for their first hit of the game, but they do have the 5 runs. And we are all knotted up here with 3 innings left to play. Potential for more if it ends up like this, but both teams really starting to claw back at one another in this one and setting up for a good final 3 innings here. Kennedy Zook is now the pitcher of record for Milford. For Milford after relieving Kenton. She is now in a tie game, so this will be her game to win or lose at this point forward. Capitol Hill still looking for their first hit, but they've been patient at the plate, and that's the reason why they've got 5 runs on the board. And Isabel Loika earned on via a hit by pitch earlier in this one and skips out of the way of that one low for ball 1. The 1-0 upcoming. Tomahawk down, right side of the infield. Giving it a long look and a throw, safe at first base, and that is the first hit of the game for Washington, D.C. It belongs to Isabel Loika. Legs out an infield hit, and she's at first base, and Alice Ward will be the batter. Ward against Kenton, struck out looking, as perhaps injuring her finger on the play was Loika. And now she's going to need some medical attention, and while she does, we'll have Kumsky, who made the final out last inning, come in to be the courtesy runner. So Ward steps in and takes that one high for strike 1. Ward was Kumsky's 6th strikeout victim before she was relieved of duty in the 3rd inning. Good pitch there, but a little bit on the outside, and so that'll be registered as a ball, and taking second on the play is Loika. So 1-1 upcoming here to Ward with Loika now at second base. Washington, D.C. looking to make that runner relevant here. Loika stays put at second. The count 2-1. We'll get you an update on the major field in just a moment. Behind us, New Jersey is playing Maryland in the final game for those two teams in pool play. Swung on and missed by Ward high. Count goes to 2-2. That other game going on in the major field is a battle between two 1-1 teams, so a very important game there. The pitch, and that one is outside for ball 3, but taking third on the play was Loika. Jersey leads Maryland on the other field 6-1 after 3 innings of play. It's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And a strikeout there for Ward. That's the first of the inning. And it keeps Loika stationary at third base. And this will bring up Ellie Harper. Harper, the catcher, was hit by a pitch and ended up scoring in that 5-run third inning for Washington. And that one upstairs for ball 1. New Jersey had a 6-0 lead at the end of the first inning of that game, and now they're up 6-1 2 innings later. Harper taking all the way that time, and she took a strike and sees it now from Zook. The count 1-1. The pitch, well upstairs, holding fast at third base is Loika. The count goes to 2-1 here on Harper. Dipping out on that pitch below the knees. So Zook falls behind 3-1 on Harper with, again, Loika dancing around at third base. The 3-1 pitch, and that's inside for a strike, 3-2. Harper turned her shoulder in, but it hits the inside part of the strike zone. 3-2 will be our pitch upcoming with first and second base open. Zook looks in, delivers well high, and earning herself on via the walk is Harper, so she's on base for the second time in this game. And that'll bring up Alex Emerson, the left fielder. Emerson walked and scored in the third inning. Squares up to bunt and makes contact, but that'll be strike 1 off the foul. Pitch, and there's a strike for strike 2. Taking second on the play was Harper, as there was no contact there with that one. So stolen base for Harper puts runners at second and third. Elevated again, and runners will hold, however. That's the first ball of the at-bat issued by Zook. The count goes to 1-2. First base is open. There is 1 out, and runners at second and third. DC threatening again. The pitch. When that one, I thought caught a piece of Emerson. Instead, it skips inside, and the count runs even at 2-2. DC got their first hit of the game in this inning. And then a walk to Harper has Zook in a little bit of trouble. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3, 3-2, and once again the count runs full. Emerson, who drew a walk her first time up and scored, looking to get on again here in consecutive innings. The pitch, high again, well high, and earning her place on is Emerson again via the walk. And now with still 1 out, the bases are loaded on Zook, and Maggie Lombardo will be the batter. Lombardo reached on an error to second base. She had an RBI and a run scored as well last inning, but she was able to make some pretty decent contact with the ball, unlike a lot of batters against the starter, Grace Kenton. Kenton was just guilty of hitting batters and walking too many, really. The pitch, dipping out near the laces, was Lombardo, and she's going to see a 2-0 pitch here. Might want to see a strike here with the bases loaded. Get that first, and She does there, as they say, she went around with the swing, so 2-1. So the 2-1 upcoming here from Zook. Swung on and hit fouled, first base side, so the count goes even 2-2, and an important couple of pitches here upcoming. Big battle here in the bottom of the order. The bottom 5 batters in Washington, D.C.'s lineup all reached base last inning. And that one is airmailed above the Albert's glove, the catcher, and the count again goes to full. Third straight batter who has been issued a full count here from Zook. Starting to pile up the pitches. The 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4, a bases loaded walk, and an RBI for Lombardo, her second of the game. Scoring on the play is Loika, who was at third base for a while, and Washington, D.C. has regained the lead. It's 6-5, as the ball will be taken away from Kennedy Zook, I believe, and we're going to see our third pitcher of the game, I think, for Milford. Indeed, that will be the case. So Zook will keep our eye on things. Oh, and it looks like coming in is Kenton again. So Zook goes back to short, and Kenton will come back into pitch. So we'll make those changes on our lineup card here. And so round 2 for Grace Kenton. Kenton faced Kate Stern in the last inning and issued a walk to her. Yep. So Kate Stern is at bat. She walked and scored in the third inning. And to set it up for you, we have Harper at third base. She got on via a walk. You got Emerson at second base. She got on via a walk. And you have Lombardo at first base. She got on via a walk. Nine walks total have been issued by Milford, Delaware to Washington, D.C. They've also hit 3 batters. So that's 12 base runners without the benefits of a hit. And again, Washington, D.C. had 5 runs on no hits in the third inning. And now they have 1 run in on 1 hit in this inning, but they have the bases loaded with 1 out. Golden opportunity here for Kate Stern. She faced Kenton in her last at-bat, earned the walk. Sees that one on the inside corner for strike 1. So Kenton with a nice pitch to start round 2 of her action. The pitch, dead red, strike 2. That's the strike zone that we're used to seeing Kenton hit. And that's inside for ball 1. That one's airmailed for ball 2. A 2-2 pitch upcoming here. Washington, D.C. with a 1-run lead. Looking to do some more damage. Another pitch high for ball 3. 4th straight batter who will see a 3-2 pitch from Milford. D.C. with a big spot here. High and outside for ball 4. Another bases loaded walk issued by Milford. That will score Ellie Harper from third base. And now the bases remain loaded with 1 out, and our score is 7-5, Washington, D.C. And that'll bring up Dottie Laurent. That one is bounced in front of Albert. Laurent walked in the last inning. She ended up coming around to score as well. She scored the 5th and final run for D.C. in that top half of the third. And that one is inside for a call strike, 1-1. So Kenton works her way back into the strike zone here. She'll need to try and live there, as she has missed high when she has missed. Here's the pitch. Good pitch that time. Hits the lower hemisphere of the strike zone, 1-2. So now she's ahead in the count. And that one is a called strike 3. Kenton gets back to it. She strikes out her 7th batter of the game, and that'll bring 2 outs now, and it'll leave it onto the bat of Callie Smith. Smith is 0 for 1. She struck out swinging in the first inning and then walked in an RBI. A bases loaded walk. That was against Kenton. In fact, Smith was the last batter that Kenton faced before she was relieved for Kennedy Zook. The pitch, high for ball 2, 2-0. And again, nowhere to put Callie Smith here. So if she's able to draw a walk, it's going to put DC up by 3. Kenton with a big pitch here, and it's outside for ball 3, 3-0. And you've got to think that Smith is going to be looking at the next 2 pitches, I would assume. And she sees that one for a strike. Kenton not missing that time, 3-1. Kenton, another big pitch. Swung on and missed. So the green light was on for Callie Smith, but she swung through that one, and now 3-2. Another payoff pitch upcoming. This time with 2 out and the bases loaded. Big spot here. The pitch, and it's a called strike 3. Handcuffed Smith. That is the 8th strikeout for Grace Kenton on the afternoon, and she's able to stop the bleeding a bit. But Washington, D.C., on the benefits of their first hit of the game, end up plating 2 more. And at the end of 3.5 innings of play, it's D.C. with a 7-5 lead. Stay with us. More 10U tournament action coming up next.
Next tournament would not be possible without the great support of the Staten Island Advance. Not only does the Staten Island Advance have full coverage of the tournament, but we are committed to covering Island youth sports year-round and all news close to home. Pick up the paper today and look for great subscriber deals now for our loyal readership. Visit us online at silive.com for news and photos of this week's tournament and all the breaking news on Staten Island, the nation, and the world. The news of Staten Island is the Staten Island Advance and silive.com.
Welcome back here to Great Kills Little League in Staten Island. We get set for the bottom half of the 4th inning of what has been a very eventful game here between a pair of teams looking for their first victory in pool play. It's Washington, D.C. 7 and Delaware 5, a game where Delaware raced out to a 3-0 lead. It was erased with 5 runs by Washington, D.C. in the top half of the 3rd inning. Delaware got even in the bottom half of the 3rd inning to knot it up at 5, and then DC comes right back and scores 2 in the top half of the 4th to take a 7-5 lead. And now once again Delaware down by 2 in the scoring column will look to chip away with 9 more outs remaining here in their pool play stage of the tournament. Meanwhile, going on the major field, New Jersey has ballooned their lead now to 10-1 over Hughesville Little League of Maryland. So Jersey was stuck at 6 runs for a while, and they added 4 in that one, and they are at the bottom of the 4th inning. Jersey's still at bat, but if they're able to score another run, New Jersey, they will end that one via the run rule. There's one that is smoked towards short, and a great stabbing play that time by Nolan registers the first out. So Logan Bell hopped on the first pitch and lined the shot to Nolan, and she's able to make the catch for the first out.
Number 17.
And Gianna Rivera will be the batter. Rivera struck out swinging her first time up, and swings and fouls that one back. Spain has fanned 6 batters in the game. And that one swung on and fouled back again. So Spain quickly ahead 0-2 on the count to Rivera. And that one is swung on and hit into the outfield. That will reach there in left center. And it gets behind both fielders and legging it out into second base. Throw went awry a little bit, and now moving on to third. And no throw there, so getting all the way to third base is Gianna Rivera. We're going to give her a hit and an error on that.
Raylan Towers, number 8.
And she gets over to third base. So tying run at the plate once again. Raylan Towers, who earned on via an error her last time up, as that one spins away from Harper. Count 1-0. Rivera, we didn't have a chance to give you her line, but she had struck out the first time and now gets a big hit there. And that one put right back onto Spain. Spain with the throw to first, and once again it's offline, and that will be able to score Gianna Rivera. And going all the way to third on this one will be Raylan Towers. And she's going home after a misguided throw, and just like that, we have a tie game here. 7-7. Two errors on that play. The throwing error by Spain, and then another throwing error on the base paths to try and get Towers out at third base. And she ends up coming all the way around on what was a dribbler back to Spain, the pitcher. I'm sure it's exactly how they drew it up. 7-7 is our score in what is becoming a wild one here on Senior Minor Field. I've seen a sprinkle of everything in this game. And now with a fresh start, it is Nathalie Ballard, who struck out looking her first time up. That was back in the second inning. And that one is skied up for ball 2-0. So Spain now needs to settle down a little bit, and gave up a line shot to start things off, but then the double and a few errors there have really tripped up this Washington, D.C. team. And for the second time in this game, Milford has come back and has tied the game up with 2 frames left and still potentially can do some damage here. The count 3-1 upcoming to Ballard. Ballard would love to get on for the top of the order coming up. That one hits the inside corner for strike 2. Reminder that our second game, second of 2 here on this field, is slated to start at 11:30. And that's a ball for ball 4, and Ballard is on base. And 2 out. Well, are there 2 outs in this inning? I only have 1 out on my...
Now batting, catcher number 7, Quinn Albert.
And Quinn Albert, who walked and struck out, is the batter. And that one is a dribbler back to Spain. Spain fields, but there's no play to be made. Even if she would have thrown that, that would have been an infield hit for Quinn Albert. And it moves over Ballard over to third base. And now she represents the go-ahead run, 1 base away with 1 out. And Grace Kenton, who now is the pitcher in this game after a stint at short as well, will be the batter. Looking to help her own cause at this point with runners at the corners, 1 out. The delivery is up high, and taking second on the play will be Albert. Holding steady at third was Ballard. So now runners are at second and third with 1 out, and that one is bounced in on Harper for a ball, 2-0. The pitch by Spain, the 2-0, swung on and fouled near the Milford, Delaware dugout. The count is 2-1. Spain with a long look. Misses high again, 3-1. First base is open. Kenton on the day, walked and scored and struck out. Swinging her last time up. And she tomahawks that one down to second base. It's placed down and Kumsky makes the throw to Lombardo, but it's an RBI ground out for Grace Kenton. And it is now an 8-7 game, as coming into score was Ballard, and moving on to third base was Quinn Albert. So with a runner at third, it'll be up to Kennedy Zook. Zook had a sacrifice fly to left field for an RBI and also singled her last time up. So she's 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Swings at that one, fouls it off third base side. And that one bounced in on Harper for a ball. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch upcoming. Swung on and hit sharply down the left field line. That is a fair ball all the way, and it will be an RBI double, it looks like, as Zook looking to leg it out, and she does. So she's having a wonderful afternoon here at the plate, I should say, and it is now a 9-7 lead for Delaware, as they have plated 4 runs in this inning. Marley Clendaniel is 1 for 1 this morning. She walked her first time up and was stranded on base, and then she had an RBI single in the fourth. Ended up scoring in the inning as well. Zook is stuck between second and third. Now she moves back to second. There are 2 outs here. Zook is at second base, and now a 2-0 pitch for Clendaniel, and that's a bouncer in front of Harper. And Zook will take third base. So now she's a base away with a 3-0 count here on Clendaniel. She's had some pretty good swings here against Spain. And she won't be able to swing at that one. It's a 4-pitch walk issued by Catherine Spain. And with the score 9-7, Delaware will have runners at the corners now with 2 out in the top half of the fourth. Peyton Bell, the batter. She's 1 for 1. We'll give you her line in a moment. But that one's airmailed for ball 1, and moving over to second base easily will be Clendaniel. Bell walked and was stranded in the first inning. She had an RBI single and was then rubbed out at shortstop in the fourth inning on the base pads. Harper is able to get back to that one, but the count 2-0 now, as Spain has delivered 6 straight balls here. So she'll need to find the strike zone. You'd like to think Bell will have the bat stationary for this pitch. Now she's swinging and bounces one right up the middle. 1 run will score. They will send the second runner in at home. They hold the ball, does Washington, D.C., but it's a 2 RBI single for Peyton Bell, and that opens up the lead. It's now 11-7 in favor of Delaware.
Now batting, right fielder number 15, Julie Mumford, number 13.
And it will be Julie Mumford now. Mumford is 0 for 2. She struck out looking and then bounced into a fielder's choice. Tomahawks that one towards second, and that will get through the right side for a base hit.
I need the bucket of balls, girls.
Another single for Delaware, although that one was off the glove. Hit hard in that gap. And runners now first and third with 2 out. And it will be Macy Durham, who's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles in this one. We have a hydration visit here at the mound. Yep. It's another visit here in the circle for Washington, D.C. as looking to settle down her troops. This has been a 6-run inning for Milford, Delaware. We had a 5-run inning for Washington in the third, but they are trading shots back and forth. I'm trying to do it in my head how many lead changes there have been. There's one. Well, this is the second, yeah. Second lead change. We had a tie at 5-5. But getting back to Durham, the batter, she singled and had an RBI in the first inning. And then in the third inning, had another single. She was stranded on base in that inning. But she's having a nice morning/afternoon. And a chance to do some more damage here with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Here we go. Fresh start. And that one is skied up, and taking second easily on this one will be Julie Mumford. So you have Peyton Bell at third, Mumford at second, and a 1-0 pitch upcoming here for Durham. And there's a bouncer to Harper that misses, 2-0. They've reached the bottom of the 5th inning on the major field. New Jersey has themselves a 10-1 lead over Maryland. And that one is hit and caught by Spain before it can land fair or foul, and that will end the threat. So we have reached the end of the 4th inning, and we go to the 5th with Milford Little League of Delaware taking the lead. A 6-run 4th gives them an 11-7 edge over DC. Stay with us. You're watching coverage of the 10U Eastern Regional Championship Tournament on the PDF Sports Network.
Awards and Trophy Center is proud to sponsor this week's New York State Little League Championship. Located at 1600 Highland Boulevard on Staten Island, we pride ourselves in not only building trophies, but building relationships as we service our community and treat you like family. Your event and its achievements deserve the best. That's why Country Awards and Trophy Center is ready to work with all of our clients to make your event a memorable one, with awards, trophies, and gifts that make a lasting impression. Come see why we love our customers and they love us. Visit us today.
We're back here live from Great Hills Little League in Staten Island. 4 innings in the books, and they have been eventful innings. 18 total runs on 11 total hits. We've had 7 errors in the game. A little bit of everything, a healthy mix here. And at the end of it all, Delaware, through 4 innings, has themselves a 4-run lead. They found themselves down by 2 runs twice in this game and have picked themselves off the mat a couple of times. And now Washington, D.C. has to try and work their way back. This is Rory Nolan, who sees that pitch go behind her. Nolan is 0 for 1. She struck out looking her first time up and then walked in an RBI, a bases loaded walk issued to her back in the third. Swing and a miss for strike 1, and Kenton sees the count run even again at 1-1. There's one that's hit at the hands foul, 1-2. Once again, the second game of 3 here on this field will feature Pennsylvania against New York. Anticipated 11:30 start time for that one. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And so Nolan, the 9th strikeout victim of Kenton's, she strikes out for the second time against her, and Skylar Miller will be the batter. Miller was hit by a pitch, and she also struck out swinging as well. Ducks under that one for a ball. Ducks out of the way of another one, 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th on the major field. New Jersey with a 10-1 lead over Maryland. Here we are 11-7 as Miller takes a strike. Our count is now 2-1. Miller looking to give DC a start, and she swings and misses at strike 2 very late with that swing. And Kenton 1 strike away from starting out 2 for 2 in this inning, 2 up and 2 down. Let's see what she offers here. Too high for ball 3, and we'll see another payoff pitch upcoming. Pitch down low, ball 4, and Miller earns on via the walk. Second time in 3 plate appearances she's been on base, and that'll bring up Catherine Spain. Pitcher versus pitcher again. Spain is 0 for 2 with an RBI. She struck out swinging and grounded into and had a grounder, an RBI ground out. Skips past that one for a ball, and advancing to second was Miller. Spain all the way back in the batter's box, swings and misses through that one, 1-1. Well high, and taking third is Miller, no throw induced. And so it'll go to 2-1 the count, and now Miller 1 base away from making this a 3-run game. Kenton's delivery is swung on and missed to make the count 2-2. And again, Miller holds fast at third base. 2-2 pitch up coming to Spain. Swung on and chopped foul. Staying alive in the count, Catherine Spain. Kenton with a nice pitch there. I think that would have been strike 3 had she taken it. The pitch from Kenton. That is low below the knees, 3-2. Another payoff pitch upcoming. She lost Miller on the last payoff pitch. Let's see what she has to offer here to Catherine Spain. And that one skips, and that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued here by Kenton to the Delaware lineup. And it'll bring up Addie Holder. So Holder is 0 for 1. She struck out looking, and she walked her last time up. Runners are at first and third. Spain was looking for the throw, won't get it, as Holder took ball 1. That one up high for for strike 2, but Spain is able to take second on the play. So runners are at second and third, 1 out, and an 0-2 pitch up coming to Holder. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big strikeout that time, the 10th of the game for Kenton. And that'll leave it up to Vivian Kumsky. Kumsky is 0 for 2. She has struck out twice in the game.
Vivian Kumsky, number 22.
Kenton was relieved by Zook, but she has 10 strikeouts. Zook had 3, so as a team, Washington, D.C. has 13 strikeouts, or have been victimized 13 times via the strikeout. Vivian Kumsky has been the victim twice. And that one is skipped away from. 2-1 will be the count. Runners are at second and third, 2 out. And once again, dipping out of the way was Kumsky right by the shoes, and it's now a 3-1 count with first base open. The 3-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2, so the count will run full again. The last 4 batters now have seen a full count. Can Kenton win the battle again? Well high, and that'll be good for ball 4 on Kumsky. And so now the bases are loaded. another inning where DC does not have a hit, but have been able to load the bases via the walk. And it will be Isabel Loika. Loika is 1 for 1. She was hit by a pitch and later singled and scored. She swings through that one. They've gone final after 5 innings on the major field. New Jersey has beaten Maryland 11-1. That game called into the 5th inning. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 on Loika, so now she's in the hole 0-2. So New Jersey finishes 2-1 in pool play, and they've only allowed 2 runs total. So if they have a chance to finish first, and there's a swung on and missed, strike 3. So Kenton strikes out the side, and Washington, D.C. is kept off of the scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Delaware hanging fast to their 11-7 lead. Stay with us. More 10U softball action coming up after this break.
New York State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
All right, we are back here, Great Hills Little League, and what Delaware hopes will be their last at-bats of this game if they can hold on defensively in the top of the 6th. But a chance for them to add some insurance here, coming off the heels of a big 6-run inning where they turned a 7-5 deficit into an 11-7 lead. And again, this battle here will determine the 5th and 6th seeds. Maryland will finish as the number 4 seed. They finish with a 1-2 record, but they've given up considerably less runs than either of these 2 teams. So no matter what the matchup is, they would have beaten Delaware head-to-head. They didn't play Washington, D.C., but they would win the tiebreaker there. So Maryland will finish in 4th. The winner of this game will finish in 5th. The loser of this game will finish in 6th. And those will be your 4, 5, 6 seeds. Seeds 1 through 3 are still yet to be determined. If Great Kills is able to beat Pennsylvania on this field in the battle of the 2-0 teams, then Great Kills from New York would be the top seed. That one is bounced right back over to Spain. The throw went errant, but on a bounce, making a nice play. That time was Lombardo to reel it in. And on one pitch, we have 1 out. And again, if Pennsylvania is able to beat New York, then Pennsylvania would finish as the top seed, and it's highly likely that New Jersey would definitely finish as the 2 because they would have, actually not, because Great Kills would have beaten them head-to-head. So Great Kills would finish as the 2, and Jersey would finish as the 3. And that one is lined straight up the infield. Unable to get to that was Nolan, who's played a very good shortstop in this one. But that'll be a base hit for Delaware. So another hit for them will make that 11 for the game for them.
Extra hitter number 17.
And again, if New York is able to beat Pennsylvania in the next game, then New York would finish as the 1. Jersey would finish as the 2 because they beat the Pennsylvania team head-to-head. So you have an 0-1 count here on Gianna Rivera. Rivera had one of the best hits of this game. She doubled her last time up and scored. There's a healthy swing and a miss, but moving on to second base easily is Logan Bell. And so now she's in scoring position with one out. Up top, 2-2. Excuse me, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, and out on strikes is Rivera. Another K for Spain. Try to count hers real quick. I believe that's strikeout number 7 for her. And that'll bring up Raylan Towers with 2 out. Towers is 0 for 2, but she's reached base twice on errors. She ended up scoring in the last inning, a big 6-run inning for Towers. And moving over to third base now is Logan Bell. So Bell just 1 base away from making this a 5-run game. Taking a little off there from the pitch with Spain, but Towers bounced it foul. It'll be 1-1 to count to Towers. And tries to reach up at that one, but that swung on and missed for strike 2, 1-2. And offering at that one, and that was strike number 3. That's the 8th strikeout for Catherine Spain, but Washington, D.C. will be down to their final 3 outs here as the visiting team. They have a 4-run deficit to attend to, and it'll come up after this commercial break.
K&S Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
When it comes to sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
We are back here, top half of the 6th inning, where Washington, D.C. will be down to their last 3 outs here to try and scratch together 4 runs. They did have a 5-run inning in this one, so not beyond the scope of contention here. They'll bring up batters 8, 9, and 10 in this inning, and it'll start with Alice Ward. Ward is 0 for 2 in the game. Ward struck out looking against Kenton. She struck out swinging against Zook earlier in the game, and this will be her second plate appearance against Kenton. And sees that one bounce in front of the plate, 2-0. So quickly ahead, and if you're DC here in Capitol Hill, you're looking to just get base runners on here to start this inning. That one well high for ball 3, 3-0. On deck is Harper, who's been on base a couple of times in this one. So big moment here. And that one is bounced in, and a 4-pitch walk issued to Alice Ward. Ward at first now, and that'll bring up Ellie Harper. Harper doesn't have any plate appearances in this one, or at least at-bats in this one. She was hit by a pitch and scored. She also took a walk and scored, and also had a stolen base on that second plate appearance. She takes strike 1, but advancing to second was Alice Ward. Meanwhile, Kenton just delivered her first strike of the inning. That one bounces in on Albert. She's able to keep it in front of her, 1-1. That one is inside, but hits the strike zone. First strike, 2. 1-2 will be the count on Ellie Harper. Again, Harper's been on base twice without the benefits of a hit in this one. They can use another base runner. That one well high, however, for the count to go to 2-2. Should mention that Ward moved over to third base 1 pitch ago. And that one hits the inside corner for a call, strike 3. 12th strikeout for Kenton in this one. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Alex Emerson. Emerson has also been on base twice via the walk twice.
Left fielder number 33, Alex Emerson.
So no at-bats for Emerson, but has reached base twice on walks and has scored a run in this one. She's got Alice Ward to try and pick up at third base. Well high, ball 1. Just want to make sure about the count here. And that one hits the outside corner of the strike zone for strike 1. The count is 2-1 actually. Emerson is patient at the plate, showing bunt, and takes one off the helmet. Yep. Off the ear hole of the helmet and then bounced on her shoulder, but a hit by pitch, and so Emerson on base 3 times out of 3 times. Runners at the corners now for Maggie Lombardo. Lombardo has been on base twice, however, she's 0 for 1. She grounded into an error. RBI and scored, and then she walked in an RBI and the base is loaded. So she's 0 for 1 with 2 RBI and a run scored. Took strike 1 and swing and a miss, strike 2, as Kenton is well ahead here with runners at the corners. And that one is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. 13th strikeout for Kenton. Emerson moves over from first to second, but Washington, D.C. is down to their final out. And it'll be up to the bat of Kate Stern. Stern has walked twice in this game, has an RBI and a run scored. He has a called strike right down the middle of the plate. Kenton has certainly found the strike zone now. Missed it that time high, 1-1. On deck is Dottie Laurent, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. The pitch skipped in on Albert, so the count will go to 2-1. First base is open. Another one that skips in. Albert does well to keep it in front of her, but the count will go to 3-1. Missing high once more was Kenton, and that's ball 4. At least by my count, it's ball 4. Yep, and she will get the base. Kate Stern has walked 3 times in this game, and now the bases are loaded, and the tying run comes to the plate. Dottie Laurent sees a strike for strike 1. Laurent walked her first time up and scored back in the 3rd inning and struck out looking her last time up. Shows bunt, lays off inside, ball 1, 1-1. Squares up to bunt again, lays off, that one high, ball 2, 2-1. Suicide squeeze, huh? Possibly employed here. Again, squaring to bunt. Taken off, hits the inside corner for strike 2. Big pitch that time for Kenton. to stay even in the count. High for ball 3, 3-2. Here it comes, a payoff pitch with the bases loaded and 2 out here in the top of the 6th. The pitch from Kenton, it's a bouncer to the plate. That'll walk in a run. And it's now a 3-run game, and the tying run is now at first base.
Center fielder number 1.
And we're going to have a visit here. A little hydration for Kenton. Callie Smith will be the batter. Smith is 0 for 2. She has 2 strikeouts in the game, but was able to walk in a run. She has a bases loaded walk. Won't have a lot of time between games here on this field, as coming up next on this field, we thought it would be the New York versus Pennsylvania game. In fact, we are going to have the other bracket where it will be Connecticut. I forget who's playing in those games. It's our New England bracket. Massachusetts will play Vermont in that one. High to Callie Smith, so she takes a first pitch ball. It'll be 1-0. Outside ball 2. Nowhere to put Callie Smith, and she's well ahead in the count. 2-0. It's a 3-run game. The tying run is at first base. 2 out. And Smith. Big swing, and runners will hold steady. Two 2-1 count upcoming to Smith. And that one bounces in front of Albert, 3-1. And we'll see if they give Callie the green light here, one of their better hitters. In a 3-run game, here we go, payoff pitch. And that one does hit the inside part of this plate for strike 2, and we will have a 3-2 pitch upcoming. Big pitch here, and the battle. Called strike 3, dead red, and Callie Smith out on strikes, and we go final. And the 5th seed belongs to Milford of Delaware by virtue of an 11-8 victory here over Capitol Hill Little League representing Washington, D.C. A game that went back and forth, and the line shows how this one went. Milford of Delaware, 11 runs on 11 hits. They come back from down 7-5 to take an 11-8 win. So again, with these two teams having concluded their pool play, Capitol Hill will finish as the 6th seed, and they will play the 3 seed tomorrow. And it will be Milford of Delaware taking the 5 seed, and they will play the number 4 seed, which will be Hughesville. So that game is already in stone. Hughesville of Maryland will be their opponents tomorrow in the 5-4 game. So that'll do it for us here. I want to thank our engineer, Alex Paramithis. My name is David Pizzuto. Thank you for joining us here on game 1 of 3 here on the senior minor field. Our next game is in approximately 1/2 hour, so we will throw it up to widescreen here and end this stream. Be sure to join us for our next game here on the senior minor field, which will feature the New England bracket game. The New York versus Pennsylvania game will be on our major field, so look out for that as well. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at 11:30 for game 2 of 3 here on senior minor. Thank you for joining us.